Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, and today we are going to speak about a company known as Praj Industries Limited. Alright, and the share price has zoomed in the last about 3 to 4 weeks. So let us try to look at the reasons what has actually happened with the company. So Praj Industries is a market leader in the manufacturing of equipments needed for ethanol production in India. Not just in India, the company has about a 10% global market share in the ethanol business. Okay, from a stock market and investing perspective, famous investors like Rakesh Jhunjhunwala have made huge money by investing in the shares of Praj Industries in the early 2000s. Alright, basically the company is 4 decades old. It's not a very new company. Okay, investors like Jhunjhunwala had bought the company much earlier than what we are making this video now. It has about 90 research scientists that Praj employs. Okay, and they have about 300 patents to their name. Okay, so basically this is a research and development oriented company. Okay, which has done significant amount of work in the manufacturing of sustainable fuels. Okay, so these sustainable fuels are basically alternates to the fossil fuels that you and I use in the vehicles today. Okay, let me talk a little bit about the national biofuels policy of 2018. Before 2018, there was no formal framework or policy which the government had announced to give incentives and support to manufacturing of ethanol. Okay, but in 2018, the government said that okay, it's been a long while that we have not done anything for this industry. Let us make a formal policy under which they said that about 20% of the total petrol that you and I use in vehicles today, that 20% would be about 20% would be ethanol. Okay, out of this 20%, currently we have achieved about 10% blending rate. So what this means is that if you buy 1 liter of petrol from the market today, 10% of it would be ethanol and the remaining 90% would be petrol. All right. There are countries like Brazil where the government promotes flex fuel vehicles, okay, and up to 100% ethanol blending, or the vehicles run completely on ethanol in countries like Brazil. So as far as India is concerned, we are still not there. The government is trying to explore the feasibility of having flex fuel vehicles in the country. Okay, and if something like this happens, then the business for Praj is going to boom. Okay, because as the ethanol requirement in the country increases, definitely there will be more process equipments needed for the manufacturing of that ethanol. Speaking about the business lines for Praj, so they have mainly three lines of business. Number one is the bioenergy business, in which they focus on biofuels and biogas. All right. Number two is an engineering business in which they focus on process equipments. Okay. And number three is a high purity segment, which is a very new segment for the company. Okay, in which they supply process equipments needed to pharmaceutical companies for having high purity water. All right. So as far as the revenue bifurcation for as on the quarter one FY23 is concerned, 77% of the revenues come from the bioenergy segment, 17% comes from the engineering segment, and only a small 6% comes from the high purity segment. So the bioenergy segment is still the bread and butter for the company, and I'll tell you why this number is very important. Okay, now I'm going to flash the share price chart of Praj Industries on your screen. You see, in the last 1 year, the stock has not done anything much. Okay, what is the reason for that? All right. So you see, about 35 to 40% of the country's ethanol requirement, okay, that much capacity has already been installed in the country. Okay, another way of looking at it is that 35 to 40% of the revenue potential of a company like Praj has already been met. Okay, so 75% of the revenues of Praj Industries, it comes from bioethanol. Okay, and we are saying that 35% of the total capacity has already been installed. Okay, so there appears to be a question mark on the growth potential of the company. Okay, and whenever there is a question mark on the growth potential, we see that the share price, it remains stagnant for a while. Okay, and this is exactly what has happened with Praj Industries. So what happened in the last 3 to 4 weeks where the price has actually zoomed? Okay, the reason is because the company has signed an MOU with an institute called as Institute of Chemical Technology. Alright, this is a very reputed institute based out of Mumbai. Earlier, it used to be called as University Department of Chemical Technology when they were a part of Mumbai University. Okay. Later on, the institute became autonomous. Okay, and they are now known as ICT. Okay. A very notable point here is that famous people like Mukesh Ambani have studied from this institute. Okay, and this is an institute of very high reputation as far as the research and development capabilities are concerned. All right. So what's so big about this partnership? Okay, like these partnerships keep happening. All right. the area of this partnership is very interesting, where both the organizations have decided to collaborate on expediting the manufacturing and research and development of biopolymers. Okay, now, plastics have been a huge nuisance for the entire world, alright, and governments across the world have tried many times to ban the use of plastics. Okay, within Maharashtra itself, there have been multiple attempts to ban the use of plastics, but let's face it, there is no alternate to plastic. Okay, we have to use plastic irrespective of how much we hate it. Okay, so there is a strong need for a product like biopolymer which can be manufactured at scale. Okay, and it is cost competitive also. Okay, and this MOU speaks exactly about that pain point. Okay, so you see, if these two organizations are able to do something where they make some sustainable alternative to plastics, okay, and which is also cost competitive, then it's going to be a huge thing according to me. Okay, and this is exactly why investors are very excited about. Okay, we still don't know how feasible all this is going to be. Okay, but like they say, the entire world, it depends on hope. Okay, so there is a very strong hope that the revenue potential of Praj, which today appears to have stagnated, okay, it may not actually be stagnant in the coming years because of such things like biopolymers. Okay, so as far as these renewable chemicals and materials are concerned, the company has announced a formal platform called as bioprisms. All right, so they have sensed they have sensed a strong need of having their presence in this segment. Okay, so initially they were a bioethanol company, then they moved into biogas, and now they are announcing a vision of being a company which is present in RCM, which is called as renewable chemicals and materials. Okay, so there is a very systematic way in which the company has transitioned from one state to another. Okay, and that gives a ray of hope to investors, and because of which we are witnessing the rally in the share price that we have witnessed in the last 3 to 4 weeks. As far as the question is concerned, whether you should buy, see, it's a fundamentally good company. There may be a dip, okay, or there may not be a dip. No, none of us can actually predict the markets. But if you can hold this company for the next 3 to 4 years, then according to me, there is something to be looked forward to. And let me give you a disclaimer that I have been invested into this company for the last about 2 to 3 years. All right. So you please do your due diligence before taking any decision. I'm not making any advice here. Kindly consult your financial advisor. All right. That's all I had for now. If you like the video, do press the like button, subscribe to the channel, and do not forget to check our small cases. Thank you very much.